Discussion items.
Mr. Mayor, the only two things I'd like to say under discussion items tonight is Angie, congratulations, and thank you so much for your dedication to keeping Clifton Forge looking nice, and we greatly appreciate that. And I'm really glad that you know now that we are noticing and it's not unappreciated, so thank you. And even though she left, I would like to extend congratulations to Gail Hillard for her continued and tireless volunteerism and support of everything Clifton Forge, from the theater to picking up trash along the curbs on the corridor curb appeal pickup days. So, as I've said on numerous occasions, if Clifton Forge didn't have the wonderful and dedicated group of volunteers that we have, we wouldn't accomplish a third of what we're able to accomplish. So, congratulations to both of you.
And Forge Manager's
Guess
coming.
I'm up again, right?
Yeah, again.
Okay, just a few things. I already talked a little bit about the Century Trail when we talked about the community garden. And I just want to kind of update everybody on that. We met at the Century Trail today. They have pretty much wrapped up the cleanup effort down there. If you haven't been down that way along the creek in a while, you should probably go down there. Pretty amazing, actually, how much property and space is down there that is now usable. It's a beautiful section of the creek down there. I mean, I think it's just a wonderful choice for the trail and this addition. We're working with some local businesses for donations of materials to build some features down there for the children, and it really it's just going to be a work of art to evolve, and I think you'll see what an asset it's going to be for the town. I think once it's complete, and we talked about this a little bit down there today, Debbie, you were down there with us. I think it's going to be a major gathering spot. I think people are going to go there in the evening time, and we're going to have some picnic tables and grills and places for families to gather and just enjoy themselves. So I think it's going to be a major asset to Clifton Forge, and thanks to everybody who's involved in that. And while we're talking about that, that goes hand in hand with the All Abilities Park that we've been working on. Some of you were in attendance at the community information meeting that was held at the Masonic Theater earlier this month. We truly wanted to hear what the community had to say about the park, and based on comments and discussions and conversations that we've had since that, we have asked the engineers at Thrasher to go back to the drawing board, come up with a different set of proposals and a different presentation of how we're going to proceed with that. And they are working on that as we speak, and when they get that back to the committee, obviously it'll go to the committee first, then it'll go to council just like it did this time, then we're going to open it back up to the community. The other thing that has come about, though, and brought to our attention, something that we had never heard of before, is something that Danville has done, and that is to conduct a park equity study and to make sure that you look at every park that you have and you're putting equal time and equal investment into that park, into all of those parks. That doesn't mean the same level of improvement or change, but just that you are committing the same level of energy and financing to each park. And we're going to conduct that study locally here and see where we need to focus our attention on the remaining parks. That's going to take a couple of months, maybe even 90 days to get that complete, because we're going to have to bring in a consultant to do that. But we're going to get that funded potentially through a grant locally that we can apply for, and we're working on that process right now. So all of that is coming aboard. The water main replacement from the water treatment plant all the way into town is the next major project that we're starting. The survey crews have been in here for about a month, and they have identified the best potential route for that. It's actually following the same utility easement that we have right now. The next part of that, over the next 3 days, Chris Keyser, who's our Director of Public Works, will be spending the days with the project manager from a Thrasher that will be on site every day of the construction process. And they're going to be on the ground, walking, identifying potential problems, obstacles that they might have to overcome, and come up with a plan for that. And then actually after that, we're ready to go to the plan and design stage. And the plan is to have boots on the ground working on that project by mid to late summer, so that you can actually get that done. And it's going to be about a year to 18 month long project once they start construction on that. And just so everybody knows, that is roughly a $3 million project that we're taking on. And that was made possible through the American Rescue Plan, Virginia Department of Health grant that we received. And that will all be paid for with non-budgeted town money. So that'll give us something that we've never had before. That is a new line, and hopefully the health department will sign off and allow us to abandon the old line in place with some repairs and upgrades to that, and have a backup line should anything happen and fail, because right now we have one line coming out of there, and if it fails, nobody in eastern Allegheny County has fresh water. We don't have enough water in the tanks to last very long. So this is going to be a huge asset to the town, and something that's much been needed. So we're happy to get that started. The 2 water line projects that we've had going on, thank goodness, the pipe is gone off the A Street Bridge. Every time we mention water, somebody brings up the water pipe on the bridge, it's gone. That project is complete. The River Street project is all but complete. The only thing left on that project is Adkins Excavating has to come back in the spring and mill out the asphalt and paving and put the finish coat on there. You can't lay asphalt when it's cold. So as soon as the plants open up, probably late March, early April, they'll be back and clean those intersections up and lay the finish coat of the asphalt for that. And that project will be off the books. And both of those are behind us. The next thing we're working on also is we have applied to the DEQ for the SCS ARPA wastewater collection and distribution system upgrade grant. We've applied for $4.6 million in grant money to do much needed upgrades to our wastewater collection system. Would involve manhole rehabilitation, new lines, and complete rebuild of all 3 of our pump stations in town. And that will alleviate a tremendous amount of our I&I problems, and hopefully in the end cut down on our affluent contribution to the treatment plant, and possibly reduce some of our overall sewer and wastewater treatment costs to the county. We will have an answer on that, or receive an email on it today by the end of March as to whether we received that grant or not. We're optimistic that we will receive it, and everything that we've submitted has been received with favorable responses. So we'll see how that goes and keep our fingers crossed for that. The Jefferson School project is moving forward pretty rapidly. The community involved redevelopment process is moving along. The survey that we put out about 6 weeks ago actually closed today. We had over 200 responses for that survey, both online and hard paper copies dropped off at Town Hall. Of those 200 plus, We've only identified 4 that said they didn't want anything done with the old school building, but there's overwhelming support that a redevelopment of that property needs to be realized. And now we're going to sit down, and the developer, Hill Studios and Maria Saxton, are going to review those, compile the results, bring them to town council, and break it down as to what the community would like to see in that property. And then the next step from that will be, again, another community gathering where we invite the folks of all of the community in for their input, and that'll start about a 6-phase meeting process. And it should all end up somewhere around August or September, hopefully with a good plan to move forward with the redevelopment of that school property. And just so I can let you know, we do have developers that are already reaching out to us that are interested in looking at that project once this survey is complete. And just as a reminder, this survey was paid for and funded through a grant from the Virginia Department of Housing. So again, utilize that with no Clifton Forge tax dollars being spent on that. And we even were able to get the benefit of the representatives from Virginia Housing to come over and tour the school to give us their input on what they might think it would be beneficial for. So, and then the last thing I have tonight is we have ordered a new pickup truck for Public Works. We'll take delivery on that in about a month. And we've been down 2 trucks for some time. And really, we've been trying to buy a truck for them for the best part of a year, and we just haven't been able to find one, number one. And number 2, we couldn't find one that anybody would honor the state contract on, because they didn't need to honor state contract. They were selling faster than they could get them. So this one came available. It actually fit the bill for what we needed. It comes pre-wired for the snowplow assembly. All we have to do is add the snowplow and salt box in the back. So that'll be a great addition to them. And we're still looking for one more truck purchase for Public Works. And we also, I think you've got 3 police cars, Chief, is that right? 2 that are being manufactured as we speak. And you expect to take delivery on them probably a couple months maybe?
Be nice.
Yeah, they have been ordered also. So, and all of that is paid for, all of his is paid for with grant money that he applied for and received through the police department. And Mr. Mayor, that's all I have tonight.
Any questions, council?